Are you tired of being pushed around and bullied? How can you set boundaries without making yourself unpopular? What will happen if you put your foot down? We're going to look at all of these today in your reading for the week that lies ahead. Happy New Day, Seekers. I'm Barbra de Engle. I help you decode the patterns of your life. I use astrology, tarot cards, and Lenormand cards to empower you to make the best possible choices. Today, I'm picking tarot cards for all the zodiac signs for the week that lies ahead. And the first star sign that we're going to choose cards for is Aries. Your advice card from the tarot, Aries, is the Three of Pentacles. And this card, as you can see, involves people discussing something. And the Pentacles always speak about work issues. So whenever this card comes up, it's a reminder to you that you're not the only player on the team. And if you do feel that people aren't hearing what you say, it's time to put your negotiating cap on instead of just trying to fight it. What kind of opposition will you find today and for this week that lies ahead? Well, the star here suggests that you may not have that much opposition if you approach people correctly. And to my mind, this is a very, very nice combination of cards to have. As long as you can control your impatience and not charge ahead and bulldoze your way into situations, but by being a little more diplomatic and speaking as part of a team or a group, you may find that people are extremely open to any suggestions that you have to make. Now, your Lenormand card is the key. And whenever the key comes up, it says that something is a key. There's something that's going to turn the situation. And I tie it into reminding yourself that you're a part of a team or a group wherever you are, and that your contribution, if it's offered correctly, can change things for the better. So there you go, Aries. It won't be an issue for you to put your foot down and stay popular if you do it correctly. Next star sign is Taurus. Taurus, your advice card from the tarot for the week that lies ahead is the Lovers. And whenever the Lovers appears, it suggests that there's always going to be some kind of choice. You're going to have to decide, do you take this one or that one? The upper option or the lower option? Are you going to move yourself up a step? Or are you going to step down and be on somebody else's level? Just remember, whatever decisions you make, it may not be easy to backtrack. So don't fall into that frame of mind where you make some offer impulsively and then try and backtrack on it afterwards, because that's going to get you into trouble. Your warning card is the Knight of Swords. And whenever the Knight of Swords appears as a warning card, it suggests that if you do try to state your case and put your foot down about something, then the Knight of Swords suggests that, sometimes you just let things pile up and then you explode. But the Knight of Swords says, approach it rather more tactically. Say what needs to be said, create a structure or make suggestions for boundaries that you feel may be reasonable, and then be willing to listen to what the other people suggest. Because once again, you will find yourself in a relationship with people, and this relationship needs to be managed properly with the right kind of attitude, says the Knight of Swords. Your Lenormand card for how you can bring this together reminds you that relationships, if they're managed properly, can be extremely enduring. So you'll have to decide whether you go for a quick fix, or whether you're prepared to negotiate and create enduring and positive changes in your most important relationships. So I hope that helps keep you on track for the week that lies ahead. Do remember to let me know in the comment box below if the suggestions of the cards have helped you, or helped you to see things differently, or even to avert trouble. All right. These cards are going all over the place. Gemini, I hope that's not a sign for how your week is going to be. Your advice card is the Ace of Cups reversed. And the Ace of Cups, when it comes up reversed, suggests that you may be feeling a bit disenchanted with life as the new week begins. And because of this, it could be so easy to become overly emotional and fall into a dark mood. And that would make it very difficult for other people to pay attention to what some of your issues may be. Your warning card, if you decide that you need to re-establish some boundaries, is the Six of Cups, and this card is reversed. So old habits, the way you used to do things in the past, aren't going to work. So you will find that if you're not getting anywhere and feeling miserable about it, it's quite possible that you've been working against yourself. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and pick a Lenormand card for you, and then let's see what this card suggests. Aha, the Tower. Now, if you are in a bad mood, Gemini, the Tower says everybody around you is going to see it. No matter how you try and keep a poker face or pretend that things aren't right, you're going to make an impact on your situation. So if your goal is to make a positive impact and to establish good and sensible and workable boundaries, then you have to try something new. You can't do it the same old way, but if you're willing to try doing something differently, you may find that things work out in a very satisfactory manner. I hope that keeps you on track for the week that lies ahead. Cancer, I'm shuffling the cards now for your star sign. And yes, how does a soft person like you go about setting boundaries when you feel you've been pushed around? The Seven of Wands suggests that it's not going to be easy for you. If you feel that people have been just pushing you one step too far, you're going to have to stand up for yourself in a constructive way. Instead of becoming angry and overly defensive, be prepared to stand your ground and state your case as calmly as possible. Your warning card, or the opposition card that you may find, could occur when you maybe feel that there's a group of people who aren't favorably disposed towards you, and you might find it very difficult to break through the social links that people have with each other. So if there's a group of people that you're just not getting on with, it's going to be really difficult to get through to them. And the suggestion of the cards is to focus perhaps on one person in the group that has a slightly more favorable attitude towards you and whatever you want to say. But it's certainly not going to be easy. And if it's really that important to you, you just need to remember that even if you're not as popular once you put your foot down, you also do need to get your point across. Your Lenormand card, advice card, suggests that this could be quite a challenging time for you. You don't normally like to have any kind of confrontation with anyone. And so the cross suggests that it could be quite a time of trial and inner pain and searching. So if there's something that you need to speak about, do try and approach it with as cautious an approach, but with some firmness and a sense of that you're looking for a solution that everybody can live with. And that might be the way for you to go about it, is ask the people involved how things can be better managed in this relationship. But it's going to be tough, and I'll certainly be thinking of you. Please let me know how it goes. And if you find that you're getting a little bit stuck, well, just believe in your innocence, your intuition, and your power to find the right words at the right time. The next star sign is Leo. Leo, I'm shuffling the cards for you. Your advice card is the Queen of Swords reversed. And this Queen suggests that the way that you are likely to be operating will be coming straight from the heart. And maybe that is a good thing and maybe not, because, as you know, feelings can sometimes override common sense. And you may come across as being overly critical or negative or cold or logical when a different approach may be called for. The opposition that you might face could come about because you maybe don't believe that you should be making the changes, or that you believe that once you've said your say, people need to just live with that. But these two cards are suggesting that it may be necessary for you to back down a bit and not believe that you're the only one with an opinion, and pay attention to what the other people around you say. Negotiate, negotiate, negotiate. This is not a time for you to set boundaries that are too extreme and, like it or leave it. You have to be careful of that because it could be very destructive for you in the week that lies ahead. And if you really wonder how destructive could it be if you say your say and put your foot down and throw your toys, the coffin says the damage that's caused by an attitude like that could last for a long time and be almost impossible to heal. So the cards are saying, be very careful. Don't become arrogant and convinced that you're the only one that's right, Leo, because life may teach you a very painful lesson. And that's why I use these cards. I don't want to see you run smack bang into a brick wall. So please let me know in the comment box below if this reading has helped you to sidestep some trouble. Virgo, I'm shuffling the cards now for you. Your tarot advice card is the Ace of Wands. And when this card comes up reversed like this, it suggests that whatever you want to do is not going to happen. Maybe this isn't the right time for you to put your foot down and establish boundaries. Maybe the situation is just at such a stage of development that no matter what you say, you're not going to change it much. Almost like when you see a big rock rolling down the hill, you just maybe need to step aside and let the rock go to the bottom first and see what's left when the dust has settled. But trying to start something, trigger a new discussion, you're probably going to find that you come up with your face flat against a brick wall, and it could be very hurtful to your ego. The warning card here is the Knight of Wands, and you know for a fact, Virgo, that when you see something's wrong and you want to sort it out, you can sometimes just rush in where angels fear to tread, and you could end up saying the wrong thing and coming across as being totally uncaring, unkind, nasty, and just completely out of touch. Now, I hope that's not the image that you're hoping to project, but that's what could happen if you just allow your tongue to run away with you and impulse to guide you, instead of that excellent and logical mind that's always been your saving grace. Your Lenormand card is the snake, and whenever the snake comes up, it suggests that you're either going to run smack bang into an enemy who's 10 times cleverer than you are and far more sly and devious than what you give them credit for, and this could be very, very, very damaging. So looking at these cards, Virgo, I would suggest for the week that lies ahead, you keep a low profile as far as possible and watch what you say. You might think it, but please don't say it. Don't put it in a text message or anything. Keep yourself as safe as possible in the week that lies ahead. Libra, I'm shuffling the cards for you. Now I'm going to pick a card. Pick two cards. First card I pick is your advice card. And the Eight of Swords card suggests that your situation may entail you feeling really stuck, that you can't go anywhere, that even if you want to set boundaries or say, there's just nothing you can do. It might be the people around you that are just so difficult to get through to. It might be you that just decide you're just going to give up and just hang in there. This card suggests you've got to see the week that lies ahead as a storm. Close the windows, keep the door closed, try not to get too wet or get blown around too much. But there's not much that you can do in this situation except perhaps adjust your attitude. The opposition that you may experience if you do try and put your foot down about something is going to be with somebody who really doesn't care a hoot about how you're feeling. They will, this card could be a boss, a bank manager, a supervisor, someone that you meet in a random situation who's just so sure of his or her own power and ability to withstand any of your little complaints that they won't even take you seriously. So this might be an opportunity to just back off and wait for a different time to see how you can reset those boundaries. Your Lenormand advice card is the Sun. And this card suggests that perhaps when the emotional weather is lighter around you, you may find it easier to deal with these situations. The advice of the Sun card is to say, just wait. You have some positives in your situation right now, and that's where you need to just stay focused. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself heading into a very challenging situation. Scorpio, I'm shuffling the cards now for you. Your tarot advice card is the Ten of Swords. Now, whenever the Ten of Swords comes up in a reversed position, it suggests that you may be feeling like everybody's getting on your back and that you don't trust anybody and that you don't even want to play on the same team as the people around you. Whether these people have stabbed you in the back, as you may feel, or whether you have just been misbehaving and manipulating and doing things, nobody's really going to be interested in what you have to say. And that's quite a challenging place to be in, because no matter what kind of boundaries you try to create for yourself, the people around you may have such a strange attitude that when you say, right here, this is where I'm drawing the line, they'll be off playing over there or over there. So, you know, there's nothing worse than trying to put your foot down about something and find that the rest of the team has left the playing field. So be very careful. This card, this combination of cards suggests that you could be your own worst enemy and make things far worse than you first think. So keep a watch over how you speak, what you try and say, and who you try and say it to. Your Lenormand advice card is the Flowers, and that suggests that despite the initial challenges, you should eventually be able to get through, but it won't be in, these are my rules, like it or leave it. You're going to have to negotiate and find ways to involve the people around you in this discussion so that you can find something that's mutually acceptable and workable for all the parties concerned. So I do hope this helps you, and please let me know in the comments below if this has helped you resolve some kind of troublesome situation in a more practical and positive manner. And that's what I'd like to say. You know, there's always a positive. Don't just get stuck on what's wrong. There's always a positive. Right, Sagittarius, I'm shuffling the cards for you. Your tarot advice card is the Tower. Now, you're no stranger to losing your temper and putting your foot down with a bang, a stamp, kicking something. Normally when you put your foot down, everybody knows about it. And the Tower says, be very careful, because there could be an argument. It could happen as a result of you trying to put your foot down, or putting your foot down could come as the result of an argument. But it's sure to be noisy, and you don't mind a loud discussion, but the people around you might be really concerned or upset about the way that you tackle things, because you have been known to just rush in, pom, bam, here's the truth. I don't care, who cares about what I'm saying? I'm just speaking my truth. And speaking your truth could be very destructive. So your advice card, your warning card, is the Death card. That suggests that this might be a very, 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 very good time for you to learn to channel that energy. And if you're having issues with your anger levels, maybe you should just check up with the previous videos anger meditation, but it's certainly going to be extremely important for you to manage those angry feelings so that when you do negotiate different boundaries, you don't destroy things that should actually be worked on and improved. Your Lenormand advice card is the moon, the stars. And this is a really nice card to have because it suggests that if you're willing to make the effort to change the way you deal with things, people will look on you with so much more favor. And as you know, it's so much easier to sort things out if everybody's on the same page and singing from singing in the same key. I mean, the key of peace and harmony. So don't let your anger run away with you, or your opinion of yourself, because the other people will need to see that you're willing to change and be far more positive and constructive. So I'll be curious to hear how this affects the Sagittarians. Please let me know in the comments below. Capricorn, here's your tarot layout for the week. Your advice card is the Queen of Wands, and whenever she appears, she suggests that you need to let your energy flow and do things and be enthusiastic and practical and creative and innovative, because this is a time where you could actually shine. Are you going to take that chance, or are you going to say, right, I'm in charge of the show and these are my rules? Remember, the Queen of Wands, always, whenever she needs to establish boundaries, she will do so in a fair and logical manner. If you have some old resentments or things, or you want to punish someone for something they did a long time ago, don't try and use this time to lay out that punishment, because it's going to work against you. In actual fact, whatever you have to discuss should be done in an atmosphere of open discussion, because the Page of Wands says that there's the potential to find a really workable and good solution to whatever problem you may be experiencing if you tackle it properly. Your Lenormand advice card is the Ship. And the Ship always suggests that when you decide to do things differently, you move yourself on a completely different kind of path. And that could lead to many more happy and fortuitous developments than what you first realize now. Do pay attention to what the cards have suggested, do something differently, and keep that energy moving in a very constructive and creative way. Aquarius, the tarot cards for the week that lies ahead for you start out with advice from the Six of Wands reversed. Now, the Six of Wands reversed suggests that you're not in a position to state any opinions or to put any boundaries in place, because you're in a vulnerable position. You just don't have the kind of allies or backing or assistance or opportunity that you wish you had in order to reset the boundaries in your life. While you know certain things, did I just say certain things? While you know certain things need to be readjusted, let's see what the warning card is. Yes. The two sixes suggest that things are going to move forward slowly, and while right now is not a good time to set and discuss boundaries, it will be in the very near future. So you will find that you're moving to a stage where you'll just sense that things are going to be easier to approach than they have been up until now. Watch, wait, and listen. Your Lenormand advice card, Aquarius, is the book. And the book says, yes, understandably, you know things need to be done. You don't know when's the right time just yet. You don't know how it's going to work out, and you don't even know how you're going to approach it. But the book says that when the time is right, you'll find that your intuition is there, and it might be a good idea for you to perhaps write your thoughts down about this issue, so that if an opportunity does arise, you have your thoughts logically organized, and so it will be easier to discuss. So I hope that helps you to stay on track. Please let me know if this works for you. It's a very a very nice way, I think, that the cards are pointing out that you could perhaps sidestep some troublesome issues. And Pisces, here are your tarot advice cards for the week that lies ahead. Your first advice card is the Page of Pentacles reversed. And this card suggests that please be very careful. You might be so focused on certain things that you miss the bigger picture. And when you miss the bigger picture, when you try and put your foot down about something or establish a boundary, you could find yourself trying to establish a boundary on something that doesn't even need a boundary. And you could come off looking rather immature rather than well prepared. The warning card from the tarot is Judgment. And Judgment suggests that, yes, you know that you sometimes do the same old things the same old way and hope you're going to get different results. Judgment says there's no excuse to keep on doing things the same old way when in fact you know for a fact that you have to tackle things differently. So rely on your ability to look a little bit further, deeper, and to see what can be revitalized. Because sometimes you want to create boundaries when the situation is already half dead. And then you don't have the buy-in from people. But if you can sit with the people involved and discuss what part of this situation can we work together on to create a better solution, you may find surprising things happen. Your Lenormand advice card is the Heart, which is a really lovely card. It's probably the nicest card to have because it suggests if you approach things in the right manner, you're going to find that people are willing to cooperate and there'll be far more affection and cooperation than what you first surmised. So just be willing to take that step, go out on a little bit of a limb, and you'll find that people are more than open to your suggestions. Please let me know how that goes as well. I'm always hugely curious and I love getting feedback from people who find that the cards give them good advice. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. The subscribe button is right there, and hit the notification button too so that you can be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week.